What in the world is going on in America? Look at the injustice. Look at the inequity. Look at the food insecurity. If you're not enraged, something is wrong with you. And that's why I want to talk about it today on In the Mix. Got to try to make some sense of this if we can. Let's tap in the mix. We're talking about change, and we're talking about starving for change. That's what we're talking about. Starving for change, the inconvenience of injustice, and injustice is always inconvenient. And as Dr. King once said, the late great Dr. King, Martin Luther King Jr. said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Look at the injustice that is taking place with the bare essential necessities. There are some things that you just need. Come on, there's some basic essentials and necessities that you need. You need air. You need water. You need some form of living space. And you need food. And one of those primary aspects of food is being attacked right now. Is 42 million Americans, and it may be even higher than that, have had their SNAP benefits snipped. People who are on government assistance. And I know there's been a lot of outrage. I know the Republicans are at the Democrats next. Democrats are at the Republicans. I mean, and caught in the chasm of that are the people. Everyone wants to blame each other on whatever aisle. And I'm not on anybody's side with this. Guess whose side I'm on? I'm on the side of the people. I'm on the side of that mother who's raising multiple children, trying to work multiple jobs, or having no job. Doesn't even know where her next meal is coming from. 1 in 4 Detroiters in the city that I live in don't even know where their next meal is coming from. 1 in 4 Detroiters are facing food insecurity. And we've got people who are supposed to be in leadership who are now pulling the rug from under the feet of people. For what? To pump their own chest, to now revoke it and then renew it and then throw a parade for themselves simply because, quote unquote, they did a favor by fixing, quote unquote, food insecurity. Listen, you are not a hero for putting out a fire that you started. And if you're not enraged, got to check your pulse. Because so many people are so caught up in me, mine, and thine, and they don't care about anybody else. But it is what Jesus said in Matthew 25:35. If you did it to the least of these, you did it unto me. When I was hungry, did you feed me? Who's going to feed those who are hungry? People saying, oh, well, there's a whole bunch of people who are able-bodied workers who can work and refuse to work, or, they are trying to play the system. Who is it to you to be judge, jury, and executioner? Who is it to you? We're talking about the whole aspect of much of the money and the monies that is used in this nation, and we want to argue over food. Dr. King said, poverty is the bride of crime. Wherever you see poverty, crime is very, very close. It's nearby. If you know anything about my work, I've been dedicated to the community. I've been dedicated especially to dealing with illiteracy, remedying how the literacy epidemic is interconnected with incarceration, health inequities, also food insecurity. Been trying to tackle that, especially ever since I became a pastor of the Remnant Worshipers Ministry in the city of Detroit. One of the first things that I did starting over 13 months ago was to hit the ground running by starting our Operation Outreach, where we would just be a vehicle by which to feed people. I didn't necessarily know that there was going to be SNAP benefits revoked, and people being thrown off of government assistance. I had no clue. All I was trying to do was just feed the community. Feed them, yes, with physical food, feed them with spiritual food, feed them with encouragement, letting them know that somebody's just going to be there for them. When did we get so callous and cold and caught up in our own selves that we don't care about anybody else? When's it just been about me, mine, thine, and nobody else? When have we lost the whole aspect of the mindset for affordable housing and clean up our community and dealing with food insecurity and doing whatever it needed to be done to now provide the basic necessities so that crime is not brewing? Crime is evident simply because people are without jobs. People do not have the basic necessities such as food. There are no outlets for people to be physically active in a community. Come on, when is the last time you drove through an urban community oftentimes and seen a rec center, basketball hoops that are not torn down, a baseball diamond? You generally have to go out to the suburbs to see many of these things. When all of that is revoked, what is it for people to do? And as a result of it, because of people's rage, their anger, their discontent, they turn on each other as a maladaptive approach. We don't condone it, but we do have to confront it. We do have to call it out. It's not about socialism or anything of that nature. What it is about socializing with those of us around us who want to get involved and roll up their sleeves and say, what is it that I can do? I have a clarion call simply because that person is human just like I am. Your socioeconomic status may be better than theirs. It does not exonerate you from the call to help somebody else. People are so focused on a title, but what is a title without a function? Forget the title, pick up a towel. Clean up the mess that oftentimes you started. Clean up the mess that is oftentimes overlooked, that we want to overstep, but we continue to overstep our boundaries. There ought to be some type of righteous indignation. There ought to be some type of anger. There ought to be some type of righteous rage. It's what is what the late great James Baldwin said. To be black in America and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time. Look around you. If you're not living under a rock and if your eyes are just at least halfway open, how can you not see what's happening? We need as many comrades. We need as many colleagues. We need as many people who have a heart for the community to get involved now more than ever before. Which is why I'm proud to say that our church has fed 25,578 people to date. And we feed our community twice a week, every single Wednesday, twice on Wednesdays. We partner with Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. We partner with Forgotten Harvest. 11:30 a.m. we're at Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. We partner with the Jamaican Pot. We're with them 4 or 4:30 p.m. each and every single Wednesday as well. Doing whatever it is. And there's no cameras involved. We ain't got the news there. We're just trying to deliver the good news to other people and let them know that we're here. We're not calling the local news. We're not calling national media, anything of that nature. We sure do have a reason to, because of the good work that is taking place. But beyond the media, it's about the mission. No, we haven't received a big check to just give to other organizations and people. It's out of the kindness of our own heart. It's us showing up. It's us being a servant. That's the title that we hold. The title of servant. Look at this. We're dealing with the starvation of America. People would rather starve the people over politics and politricks than to actually meet the needs of people who really are between a rock and a hard place, who don't have the basic necessities and even the money to pay their phone bill or their light bill or their rent or their mortgage or car or even for an Uber. We got money for bombs, but not for books. As the late, great Tupac said, we got money for wars, but won't feed the poor. America has to get back to getting to a place of its conscience. Or maybe America never had one. Its conscience is seared. What happened to the soul of America? What are we doing? Where are we going? Why is this happening? Greed, pride, ego, fascism. One of the triple evils of society is what Dr. King said: materialism, militarism, racism. And we have to confront inequities. We have to confront the inconvenience of injustice. We are living in inconvenient times. Just as injustice has always been inconvenient, we're living in inconvenient times. We can't forsake inconvenient truths. We have to lean into it. It's not about playing politics. It's not about playing politricks. It's not about partisan politics. It's about the people. And that's why we have to raise up leaders who are concerned more about us instead of I. More concerned about we instead of me. More about the people than padding their own pockets. And I want you to look within the heart of your soul. I want you to look within your soul. As we're talking about the soul of America, the soul of America is an extension of the people. The person I'm talking to, you, that gift, that goal, that dream, that drive, that tenacity, that ingenuity, that mission, that compassion that you have. It's time to resurrect it now more than ever before. What can you do to meet the need in your community? I want to ask you that. What can you do to meet the need at your son or your daughter's school? Maybe you can take some time to mentor. Maybe you can now feed and read to certain children, bring in and ingratiate families. Maybe you can Volunteer at a food drive. Maybe you can develop a food drive at your church or your organization, your fraternity, your sorority. I don't know what it is. I want you to think of a creative way that you can now ingratiate yourself into the community to help somebody else. We can't wait on the government. Who knows when the government will open back up again. But even when the government is shut, I know that heaven is still open. And here it is. Heaven has sent you to be a hero by helping those, because service is the rent that we pay for the space that we occupy. So my late grandfather and my late grandmother would sing around the piano. I remember being a kid watching them singing their vibrato, and they'd harmonize, and 63-year union, playing around that piano, that old brown piano with the white keys and the black and white keys. Sun would just glisten right in between the shades in their living room in Jackson, Michigan, and they'd sing the song, "If I can help somebody as I travel along, then my living shall not be in vain." Your living will be in vain if you don't help other people to maintain. Our living will be in vain if we don't feed those who are starving for change. America's starving for change. Will we just continue to navigate this quote unquote hunger strike? Will we just continue to navigate the forced fasting of America? Or will we begin to answer the call by not being greedy, but feeding those who are needy? This is part of the work that I do. Yeah, I could talk all day about my academy and all these things. Links are there. If you want to join it, you can do that. But I want you to consider giving to support the work that I do. So I'm giving back to the community. As I always talk about, I give back to help other people move forward. Your giving helps me to give in a greater way. Yes, we fed 25,000 plus people in just 13 months' time. Imagine how much more that we can do. Imagine how much more that we can give if you would give. Cash App. You can do that. Send a love gift on Cash App, $GiveTRW. On PayPal, info@EddieConnor.com, and then even on Zelle, EddieConnorJr @gmail.com. Not only am I helping people to be fed, I'm helping our young boys to learn how to read. Feeding and reading is what I've got my hands in. Illiteracy is rampant. When the average 8th grade African American boy is not reading on grade level, is not a proficient reader, we have to do something. And I believe you can help me to do that and more. Once again, on Cash App, $GiveTRW, as well as give. You can do this on Eddie Connor, Dr. Eddie Ministries. Yes, you can also give on Dr. Eddie Ministries, $give, Dr. Eddie Ministries. You can also give to our church, Give TRW, but also directly to me, $Dr. Eddie Ministries, as I'm directly into the community. On PayPal, info@EddieConnor.com, and even on Zelle, EddieConnorJr @gmail.com. Link is in the chat. Link is in the description of this video for how and where to give. Your support makes a difference. Makes a difference. Yeah, it may sound a little somber today because certain things that are going on in society, really, it hurts. See other people who are in need. You can't just live your life skipping through daisies and dancing through daffodils when other people are hurting. We can help that. I appreciate your support to do that. Follow me on all the social sites at EddieConnorJr, EddieConnorJr. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I've been growing your greatness. Help me grow our channel for change. Let me know what you thought about the show in the comments below. Matter of fact, let me know what you're going to do to answer the call, to help other people, to give back so that you can help others move forward. Let me know what you thought about the show in the comments below. You know I got to go, but I just want you to know it's yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother. And I mean that. From another mother family. It's been fun, but you know, brother, got to run. So I just want you to know that it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I just want you to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter, peace, and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring higher.